Good morning, dear students. Today we will discuss the chapter number 2 from history. The name of the lesson is The Rise of Gandhi and the Freedom Movement of India. So in this lesson, we'll not discuss line by line. I'll try to give you a summary overall. Okay. So while we talk about the freedom movement of India, the rise of freedom movement of India, then we can divide this freedom movement into three phases. All right. So the freedom movement can be divided into three phases. They are moderate phase, which started from 1885 to 1905. The next is the extremist phase, which started from 1906 to 1919. So these are called pre-Gandhian. Okay, these two phrases are called pre-Gandhian, and the third one is called the Gandhian era. Okay. As I told you that in this lesson we'll discuss the outlines, okay, the important topics. So I think you are already aware of Gandhi, who is also known as Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, and also known as the father of nations. All right. So in this topic, in this lesson, we will discuss how Gandhi played an important role during the freedom movement. Okay. So I told you that Gandhi's phrase can be called as the last phase of the freedom movement in India. So Gandhi not only followed the truth and non-violence way, but also he compelled the British to leave the country. All right. So Mahatma Gandhi, he was known as Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi and also known as Father of Nations. He was born at Porabandar in Gujarat on October 2nd, 1869. Okay. So while Gandhi was in South Africa, he was a very famous activist. Okay, and he already had participated in various movements, and he was being influenced by the Russian Revolution. That means the Russian Revolution enormously influenced the freedom lover people of India to come forward. Okay, please have a look for the second phases. The stage was set for Gandhi's entry into the national movement, who had already established himself with his leadership in South Africa and in Champaran, North Bihar, Ahmedabad, Khera in Gujarat in India. Okay. So from this line, we have understood that Gandhi was enormously influenced by the Russian revolutions, and therefore he started fighting against the British. Okay, he started protest, he started movement against the British. So Gandhi mainly followed the way of Satyagraha and the non-violence. Okay, which was first used by Gandhi in South Africa. If you were asked to write where did Gandhi use Satyagraha at first, okay, so you don't write in India. So, okay, it was used first by Gandhi in South Africa. Okay, not only in India. So it is a compound of two separate words, Satya and Agraha. Satya means truth and Agraha means adherence or holding fast. Okay, which is very closer. Its root meaning is holding on to truth. So by keeping these two words, by keeping in his view, he moved forward for the national spirit. As I told you that Gandhi was being influenced by the Russian revolutions. At the same time, he evolved the concept of Satyagraha, and he was influenced by the writings of Tolstoy and Thoreau. Okay, I think you might have heard the names of Leo Tolstoy. Okay, so let's come to the page number 22, third paragraph. As I told you that Gandhi had already taken participation in various places like Samparan in North Bihar, in Khera in Gujarat, and in Ahmedabad during 1917 and 18, which recognize him as an influential political leader. Okay, so to become a political leader, you must be famous, and your ideology should be good. Okay, your motivation, your intention should be ideological. Okay, then you can move on. So Gandhi also had participated in various movements which recognized himself as an influential political leader. Now come to the third paragraph of the page number 22. In Samparan, he took up the cause of peasants against landlords. In Khera, that of farmers against the collection of land revenue when their crops fail, and in Ahmedabad, that of the mill workers against the mill owners. In each of the cases, the strategy was satyagraha, and the principles were truth and non-violence. And in every case, the real force working under Gandhi was mass participation. So, Gandhi had actively participated in the movement of Ahmedabad strike 1918. And most importantly, there is one important note for your understanding. I will tell you that in this movement, in Ahmedabad strike 1918, okay, started probably in the month of February or March. So in this movement, Gandhi used hunger strike as his weapon. Hunger strike, I think you are already aware of that. Okay, means without having food, hunger strike. Without having food, the protest they used to start. So while I talk about Ahmedabad strike 1918, you need to know the reason, the background. So why did it happen? Okay, so why it happened? There was a confliction occurred in between the mill owners and the governments, okay, and the British administration, okay, whereas the workers were not given the minimum wages. Okay, the workers wanted 50% wages, but the British administration offered only 20% wages. So Gandhi was invited by the mill owners and protested against it, and for the first time he used hunger strike as his weapons, and finally it resulted in the increasing up to 35% of the wages. Okay, 35% wages for the workers, mill workers. So one thing I have forgot to tell you, that when India was under the British domination, India was forced to join the Allied Nations. So Allied Nations, you have already learned in class 9 history and the English book. Okay, English, there is a lesson, My Childhood, written by APJ Abdul Kalam. There you have got, I think, India was forced to join Allied Nations. So, okay, so what are these Allied Nations? Why India was forced to join these Allied Nations? Why India was forced to join Allied Nations? That if India joins these Allied Nations means the armies of Allied forces, means the armies of UK, USA and Russia during the Second World War. Okay, the Allied Nations, Britain, US and France, okay, promised that democracy and national self-determination would be offered to India after the war if they support for their war efforts. So Indian nationalists supported the war, expecting the major political gain. Okay, but the expectation of Indian nationalists for major political gains after the Great War of 1914 to 1918 remains unfulfilled. Okay, so up to 1918, Gandhi was a supporter of the British government, mind it. So Gandhi urged the Gujarat peasants, I told you that Ahmedabad mill workers and the peasants, okay, Gandhi urged the Gujarat peasants to join the army if they want to win Swaraj or self-rule. Swaraj means self-rule, okay, that means rule by